is Jan Matthews. I'm a nurse practitioner in cardiology, and what in the world I'm doing teaching children, I don't know. But sometimes God leads you to doing things as differently, especially if you're married to a minister. Well, I want to introduce to you somebody that's very special. This is Stewardship Jack. Jack, sit. Can you say hi?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Boys and girls, would you like to shake hands with Jack? Okay, come over there and we'll let Jack shake hands with you people. If you want to shake hands, hold that to me in. There you go. Grab it. Grab it off. There you go. Okay, let's do like some more, and then we'll do some more after church. Okay, shake hands. Mark the tree. You don't need that yet. Put it together. Oh, that's his hand. Oh. Shake hands. Who else wants to do it? Okay, here's the tree. Hold the tree with one hand and shake it with the other. Sit. Sit. There you go. All right. Now, Jack has two names, Stewardship Jack. Now, stewardship is a really strange name to give a dog. But that's because he's not just a pet, he's a working dog. He teaches stewardship to kids. Now, how does he do that? Well, one way is like he's doing now, but the other way, he spends a lot of time working really, really hard, posing for pictures that we use to make books for children about stewardship. This one is called Jack. His back is on returning tithe. He has them on obedience and on gratitude, or not being covetous and wanting lots of possessions, on talents, on diversity, being stewardship of kindness. All of these things that we, my husband and I, feel are so important for children to learn, because if your child has learned to be trustworthy, if he has learned to be grateful, if he's learned to be responsible, if she has learned to be faithful, they will be so much happier in this world, and they will make their world happier, and of course they will be faithful stewards and welcomed into Jesus' kingdom. So that's why Jack is here, because we want to involve kids. We want to have something to kind of connect with children. So if you don't mind, I'm going to talk to the kids a little bit about stewardship. Now, some of them already know this. What is stewardship? Remember what stewardship is? Remember that God owns everything, and we're to take care of it for him, right? All right, and then we talked about, some of you saw us, and we talked about that sometimes people are destructive, they're mean, they're selfish, they're lazy, they destroy things, they don't take care of things. Are they good stewards? No. But then sometimes people are, there's some people who are, they're hardworking. Show me there so the kids can see it. Yeah, they're hardworking. They are generous. They return their tithe to God. They're generous with their offerings and share with other people. They take care of their time, their talents, their treasures. They take care of the earth. They take care of their body temples. Are those good? Is that a good steward, boys and girls? Yeah. Yes, it is. All right, those of you who did not get stickers today already, remind me. I'll give those to you, otherwise I forget. A sticker from Jack. Now I'm going to let Jack sit down a minute. Lay down. And he's going to rest a little bit while I tell you a little bit, a story that I think will help you to understand why it's important to be a good steward. And I'm going to hang on to this. Well, maybe I won't. I'll make noise with it that scares the dog. Red Boy tumbled out into this world on a wonderful, beautiful October day, and he felt all around him, and he was in a box of rags with his other puppy brothers and sisters. Now, can puppies see when they're first born? No, their eyes are closed tight. But he could feel, and he could feel furry little bodies of his brothers and sisters, and he could feel the sharp little claws, and he could hear the little yip, 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 yip of the little tiny puppies. And he could know he was hungry, so he snuggled up next to his mama for lunch. After lunch, he could feel Mama cleaning him all up with her soft, warm tongue. He curled his little tail around him and settled down. Life was good, and he went to sleep. Bit by bit, the little puppies got stronger, and they ran around and were playing with each other. And they took a lot of tumblings because it took a while for them to get their 4 legs all figured out. But one day, bling, one of his eyes came open, just part way, and he looked down, and Red Boy saw something black and furry with claws on the end of it. What was it? What was that on the end of it? What he saw look down? His paws. And they wiggled, and he says, "Oh, those are my paws." Bling! His eye went a little bit farther open, and he looked over there, and there were some blonde paws. His were black. He saw some blonde paws over there, and he saw one swatted at him, and he tumbled over trying to miss it. Phew! Those weren't his paws. Then, bling! His other eye went open, and he was wide-eyed. He could see everything now. And he looked around, and he looked down. And around his neck was a red ribbon, and that's why he was called Red Boy. Well, the puppies grew, and they ate, and they slept, and their little woofs became louder woofs and barks. And now that they could all see, they tumbled and wrestled, and they had the greatest time. Oh, Red Boy was so happy. But then one day, they heard a car drive up that they'd never heard before. And they heard door slam, clunk, another door slam, clunk, and then another door slam. And some people came into where they were, and there were a mama, a daddy, and a little girl bent over and looked in the box with Red Boy and all his puppy brothers and sisters. "Oh, I want that one, I want that, I want that one." And she pointed at one of Red Boy's little blonde, curly-headed sisters. And she picked that up, and she and her mama and daddy started walking away. "Hey, bring my sister back! Don't take my sister away!" barked Red Boy. But they didn't listen, and they took his sister away. Another day, another car came up, and they took another one of his puppy brothers and sisters until he looked around the box one day, and it was empty, just him. Didn't anybody want Red Boy? He felt so lonely. Somebody put his picture on the internet to get him a good home. Guess who saw it? Right? I saw that picture, and I looked at that picture and said, "That's going to be Jack, and he's going to be mine. I choose Jack because I want him to be my puppy." So I jumped in my car, my SUV, and I drove all the way from Fort Worth, Texas, where I lived, all the way to Oklahoma, and I drove around brushy hills and sparkling lakes. I saw cows and horses, but was I interested in the cows and horses? No. I could hardly wait to go find my puppy dog. So I followed the directions down the country roads to a little ranch where a little yellow house was. And as I drove in, somebody came out the door with a black, curly, cutest little fuzzy puppy. It was Jack. And I held him on my lap as I drove all the way back to Texas. And I just love him so much. I've taught him to be obedient so that he'll be safe and happy. I'm his master because I own him. I bought him. I love him, and I take care of him. Now this is what I want you to take away from this story. Some of you may feel like nobody loves you. Some of you may feel like you're the last one, or nobody ever chooses you for their team. You may feel like, I don't have a very good family. I don't have very good friends. Or on the other hand, you may have everything. family, friends, fun, everything. But one thing that we all have is a choice. Because God chooses us. He is our master because he made us. And he died for us. And he owns everything. He owns that cell phone over there. He owns those dresses that you're wearing. He owns what's in your pocket. He owns what's in your drawers at home. He owns everything in the world. And that means he owns you and me. So we really belong to God, and he is our master. But one thing is special about God. He says, I choose you, but I'm going to let you decide if you're going to choose me or not. So boys and girls, I hope that you will choose to let Jesus be your master, that you will obey him, because he's going to take really good care of you. Do you think anybody could hurt or take Jack away from me? No. Neither will Jesus let anybody take you away from him. So I hope you choose Jesus. Do one of you want to say a prayer? Or would you do that at the end of closing story? If not, I will say a prayer. Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for being such a good master, for loving us, for choosing us. And now we want to in turn tell you that we choose you. We want to trust and obey you implicitly.